Who wants to talk about the future? Too bad, we're talking about the past. We may not have flying cars, but we do live in a world of abundance. Produce piles up in our grocery stores, fresh water pipes in through our walls. Drivers come at the touch of a button, and we can instantly communicate with anyone, anywhere. And let's not forget the lowly toilet, which has not only eradicated disease, but also gives us time to search for love on our pocket computers. Yes, that is how Tinder actually works. But let's not forget that life wasn't always this swell. One particular invention made this all possible. We use it every day, it surrounds us, and it's the source of all human cooperation. Needless to say, this thing is amazing, but it's probably not what you're thinking of. It took me years to appreciate its importance, so bear with me while I share some backstory. My shift in perspective had a lot to do with the work of Jeffrey Tucker, one of my favorite authors in the field of Austrian economics, and the inspiration for portions of this talk. He takes joy in little things like saying thank you, wearing bow ties while swimming, and drinking bourbon for breakfast. Don't cheer, that's just your first reading assignment. He also tells a simplified version of history that's key to appreciating what we have. In the beginning, it was cold and dark, and the maximum number of people who didn't want to kill you was 12. That campfire was more like hellfire. The murder rate was 100 times that which we face today. The average lifespan was 33. And I guarantee that their working conditions were worse than whatever problems you may have. Everything changed around 9000 BC when a tribe fenced in a goat in order to make milk, cheese, and cashmere. Even more importantly, they convinced neighboring tribes not to attack because these new products were valuable for everyone. They had discovered the world's greatest invention, private property. Armed with this new technology, they could share information, divide labor, and increase output. With each new recruit, their coalition became stronger. This was the dawn of civilization, or the world's first Farmville game request. Either way, it was unstoppable. Uh-oh. We're on to page 2. Robert Wright picks up the story in his book Non-Zero, which digs into the game theory behind human cooperation. The least sophisticated non-zero game is simple trade. Both parties benefit merely by transferring ownership, and unlike violent exchange, nobody loses. The remainder of human civilization might best be characterized as the relentless pursuit of larger and larger non-zero games. To this end, we've developed currency and markets, common language and faster communication, and government to enforce the rules, sometimes. The exchange of private property has grown into a powerful engine of progress. Today, dozens of firms and thousands of people collaborate to create just one of Amazon's 500 million products. And this same expansion has played out in services, arts, entertainment, science, and social networks. But what we don't do also matters, specifically the whole murder, rape, and violence thing. Steven Pinker's research indicates that this is the most peaceful time in human history, including war. Why? Well, I'm a lot less likely to bomb someone if he just sold me the family minivan. Indeed, no two countries that both had McDonald's have ever waged war against each other. Private property creates peace. Who knew? And for those of you craving some stats, there's a direct correlation between prosperity and property rights. Hong Kong was next to China just 70 years ago, and you'll note that it's not good to be on the left side of that graph. Boo. Yet the respect and adoption of private property rights remain regretfully limited. If you want a more peaceful and prosperous world, your rallying cry should be property rights now. Or, at the very least, next time you buy a cup of coffee, consider the vast network of cooperative effort that brought it about. You say thank you because that person has improved your life, and they say thank you in turn for the same. You've encountered a stranger, and you both survived. And perhaps this sign won't remind you of bad decisions or heart disease. Those two words are magical. That M is a symbol of peace. The world is an awe-inspiring creation, all enabled by property rights, the world's greatest invention. Thank you.